Welcome to my channel Everyday English Hub. Listening, the skill that changes everything. Intro. Hello, my wonderful learners. I am Zoya, and today we will discover something truly powerful. Listening is not just a skill, it is the key that changes everything. Think about it. Before you speak, before you write, before you express yourself, you must first listen. Listening opens the door to language, relationships, and success. In today's lesson, we will explore how listening can transform your English and your life. So, stay with me, because by the end of this session, you will never see listening the same way again. Paragraph 1. Listening is the foundation of communication. Without listening, there can be no understanding. A speaker needs a listener, just like a writer needs a reader. Imagine a world where everyone speaks but nobody listens. It would be chaos. In English learning, the same rule applies. If you don't listen, you cannot connect words, patterns, and emotions. That is why every successful English learner begins by strengthening listening skills. Paragraph 2. Many learners believe speaking is the most important part of English, but this is a mistake. Speaking is important, yes, but listening comes first. Babies listen before they talk. Students listen before they answer. Leaders listen before they decide. If you skip listening, your speaking will always be weak. But if you master listening, speaking will naturally follow. Listening is the seed that grows into fluent communication. Paragraph 3. But what is the difference between hearing and listening? Hearing is passive. It happens automatically. If someone is playing music in a cafe, you hear it even if you are not focused. Listening, however, is active. It means giving your attention, your mind, and your energy. Listening is looking at the speaker, absorbing their tone, and catching their meaning. That is why listening is more powerful than hearing. It is conscious, alive, and intentional. Paragraph 4. Listening builds trust. Have you ever felt that someone truly paid attention to you? You feel valued, respected, and understood. In contrast, when someone only pretends to listen, you feel invisible. The same happens in English conversations. If you listen carefully, people feel safe talking to you, and they open up more. Listening is not just a skill, it is a gift you give to others, and in return, you gain respect and connection. Paragraph 5. In English learning, listening is your secret teacher. Books can show you rules, but listening shows you life. A grammar exercise might teach you structure, but a conversation teaches you flow. Memorizing vocabulary helps, but listening demonstrates how words breathe inside real communication. That is why students who listen daily grow faster, speak more naturally, and understand more deeply. Listening is a living classroom available everywhere. Paragraph 6. Listening improves pronunciation. When you hear native speakers, you notice rhythm, stress, and melody. English is not only about words, it is about music. For example, "What are you doing?" often sounds like, "What you doing?" A book will not show you that, but listening will. Every time you listen, you train your tongue to copy sounds, and your speaking becomes smoother. Without listening, pronunciation remains robotic. With listening, it becomes alive. Paragraph 7. Listening also improves vocabulary. You may memorize 100 words from a list, but without listening, you won't know how they live in real sentences. For example, the word actually is often used to politely correct someone. You cannot learn that from a dictionary. You learn it by listening. The more you listen, the more you see words in context, and context makes vocabulary unforgettable. Paragraph 8. Listening is also the fastest way to improve fluency. Fluency means flowing speech, not stopping to translate. How can you speak fluently if your brain is always translating? The answer is simple. Listen more. Listening trains your brain to think in English, not in translation. Each time you listen, you absorb natural speed and patterns. Over time, your brain starts copying them automatically. Fluency is not memorized. It is absorbed through listening. Paragraph 9. Listening sharpens your focus. In our modern world, distractions are everywhere. Phones, notifications, noise. But when you practice listening, you practice concentration. This focus is powerful beyond English. It helps in school, at work, in relationships. Good listeners succeed because they notice details that others miss. Listening is like meditation. It trains your mind to be still, present, and aware. Paragraph 10. Let me share a story. One of my students, Daniel, was frustrated. He could write in English but couldn't speak confidently. I asked him about his listening habits. He admitted he almost never listened to English. I challenged him. Listen for 1 hour daily. Songs, podcasts, movies. After 2 months, his speaking transformed. He stopped translating, started thinking in English, and grew confident. Listening was the hidden key to his progress. Paragraph 11. Listening improves memory. Have you noticed how songs stay in your mind for years? That's the magic of listening. Your brain remembers sound patterns more strongly than written text. When you listen to English daily, your memory strengthens naturally. Sentences, expressions, and idioms stick without effort. That's why students who listen remember more, while students who only read forget quickly. Listening is memory made easy. Paragraph 12. Listening also teaches emotions. Words carry meaning, but tone carries feelings. For example, "I'm fine" can mean happy, sad, or angry, depending on the voice. If you only read, you miss the emotion. If you listen, you feel the emotion. This is emotional intelligence. It makes your English real, human, and deep. Without listening, language is dry. With listening, language becomes alive. Paragraph 13. Listening makes you a better speaker because you cannot speak what you have never heard. Every sentence you produce is built from listening first. If you listen often, your brain collects ready-made sentences. When you speak, they come out naturally. If you rarely listen, you struggle to form sentences. That is why good listeners are always good speakers. Speaking is the shadow of listening. Paragraph 14. Listening teaches patience and humility. When you listen, you stop thinking only about yourself. You give space to others. You allow knowledge to enter. This attitude creates wisdom. People who listen more learn faster because they collect more ideas. People who refuse to listen remain stuck because they repeat only what they already know. Listening opens the mind and grows the soul. Paragraph 15. Listening helps in leadership. Great leaders don't just talk, they listen. They listen to understand problems, emotions, and ideas. This makes their decisions stronger. Leaders who only speak lose respect. Leaders who listen gain trust. In English conversations too, if you listen more than you talk, people will value you. Listening is not silence, it is powerful leadership. Paragraph 16. Practical listening can be done every day. Start with 10 minutes of English audio daily. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Focus on rhythm and repeated words. Then, listen again with subtitles to confirm meaning. Repeat sentences out loud. This daily practice, though small, creates huge progress. Listening grows with consistency, not with pressure. Paragraph 17. Shadowing is another technique. Shadowing means repeating words immediately after you hear them. For example, listen to a podcast, pause after each line, and repeat exactly. This builds speed, rhythm, and pronunciation. Shadowing feels challenging at first, but it is powerful. After weeks of shadowing, your brain becomes fast, and your speaking becomes natural. Shadowing is listening transformed into speaking. Paragraph 18. Listening also builds empathy. When you pay attention, you feel what others feel. You catch sadness, excitement, fear, and joy in their voices. This makes conversations more meaningful. Empathy is the heart of communication, and listening is the road to empathy. In English or in life, people will love talking to you if you truly listen. Paragraph 19. Listening is practice, not theory. You cannot learn it by reading about it. You must do it daily. It's like swimming. You can read 100 books about swimming, but unless you jump into the water, you cannot swim. The same with listening. Every day spend time with English sounds. Only then will listening change your skills. Paragraph 20. So, my dear learners, remember this truth. Listening is the skill that changes everything. It makes you fluent, confident, and respected. It gives you knowledge, patience, and connection. It transforms not only your English, but your life. Begin today. Listen with your ears, your eyes, and your heart. Because once you master listening, you master communication. And once you master communication, you master the world. Outro. Thank you for staying with me on this journey. I am Zoya, and I believe in your potential. Remember, listening is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is not silence. It is growth. Make listening your daily habit, and you will see your English and your life transform. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep shining.